Wondering what life is really like on Canada's wild and crazy West Coast? This podcast is all about the people, the places, and Vancouver Island time. Together, we'll explore this island paradise, a combination of ocean, city, and country living. We'll meet the fabulous locals, such as the Fudge Fairy and the Chicken Lady, who have chosen Victoria and Vancouver Island as their home. And we'll learn what makes this place unique and special to those who live here. And now, your host of Vancouver Island Time, Jane Johnston.
Hi everybody, it's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. I'm here with Kristine Carter, who sells Isagenix, and she lives in the Knockan Hill area of View Royal. So this area is to the north of downtown Victoria. It's just before you get to kind of the heart of View Royal. It's also on your way to Interurban Campus. How did you end up here? Because I understand you're not from Victoria originally.
No, I'm not. And I've lived all over the area. And this is such a great area because you're outside of town, but you're really close to town. And that's what we wanted. We didn't want to be in the heart of downtown, but we wanted to be close. And this really helps suit the need for that.
So a lot of people I find when I'm helping them search for homes, they don't really think about View Royal because it's not West Shore. It's not downtown. Mm-hmm. What sort of amenities do you have around this area that you can access? Let's actually start with the parks because they have beautiful parks, especially one right here.
Mm-hmm, they do. And that was a big attraction for us as well, is the Knockan Park, which is right on the back of our house. And we've got several parks around this area, but Knockan Park, it's really famous for the Gary Oak trees. And so people here are very passionate because you don't see the Gary Oak trees in Sydney or, some of the other areas. And they provide a whole ecosystem. So you can just walk out into your backyard and you see owls, hawks, squirrels, all kinds of things surrounding these Gary Oak trees. And that's what Knockan Hill is very famous for. We also have Fraser King Park, which is just on the other side, a little bit farther down from here. And it's great because it has 3 different loops and it has a wheel accessible trail. So there's one trail that is there's 3 trails. One is 1 kilometer, one is 2 kilometers, and one is over 5 kilometers. So depending on your time, you can do whatever your schedule allows you to, and it's really close. So that's there as well.
Are either one of them dog friendly?
Yes, all of them are. And same with the Panama Flats, which is a lot flatter. Knockan Hill can be, it's a little bit steeper for those people. So if you don't want to do, too much of a hill, I would do Fraser King or the Panama Flats because they're both very flat.
And so with the hill, you get a view.
Yes, on Knockan Hill, you get the best view. It's a little bit of a climb, but it's almost a 360-degree view when you get to the top on a clear day and a beautiful sunny day. You can even see Mount Baker. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Mount Baker is one of the few things I find unique about Victoria because you can be somewhere and then all of a sudden you can orient yourself by where you are in relation to Mount Baker. It's like the only volcano in the area, right?
Volcano. Is it a volcano?
Yes, it is.
I just learned something new. But people, I say to people all the time, look, it's Mount Baker. And they're like, that's the States because it looks like it's so close. So yeah, it's really beautiful.
So, for this area, because we're quite near Interurban Campus, do you find there are lots of students around here?
Yes and no. There are a lot of younger families around here because as you get more outside of Victoria, of course, it becomes more affordable. But we also have the Y down at Eagle Creek, which is really great. The Y is right there and it's a new building. So it's really great. They've got quality foods in there. They've got a Cobb's Bread in there now. They have Tim Hortons in there. So they've got a really great location for that too. So it's quite close without having to say go into town.
And what about pubs and stuff? There's one quite close by.
Yes, we have the Goose. I just lost the name of it. The Bistro Goose, I believe it's called, right beside the co-op. And that's there as well. And they've got really good breakfast, lunch, and dinner too. And there's a bistro beside the co-op that's really good for brunch and Sunday brunch. Great, great, great eggs Benny.
I can tell what you're going to order. What about, what do you do for fun in this area, like in terms of exercise and stuff like that?
For me, it's all about the hiking, going out and doing the hiking and Knockan Hills. And it's great because all these little cul-de-sacs are there's like a little walkway between all of them. So they all end in really nice dead end quiet neighborhoods, but it's easy to get from any access. And all of the parks as well, you can access from any one of the roads. So everything is really interchangeable and easy to get around just by walking. You don't even have to drive.
Do you ever go? So there's a big casino. So one of the things about View Royal is the taxes are a bit lower because they have a casino. Do you ever go to the casino? It's recently been expanded.
Yes, we have tried the buffets. They have some pretty good buffets. The seafood buffet is the most popular one. It's all you can eat crab. And they have some theme nights, which is pretty good. And that's the great thing here too, is that you're 5 minutes out from Colwood. You're 5 minutes out from town. You're 5 minutes out from Royal Oak. So you can really diversify in where you want to go. You're not stuck to just having to do one thing. Everything is 5 minutes away.
Let's just go back a bit to Panama Flats. So tell me a bit about that.
Panama Flats is it's a beautiful open sanctuary. So it's outlaying around with trees, but it's a very level path. So perfect for dog walking, lots of people there. And again, you can access it from Royal Oak, Wilkinson, Glamford area. It's a massive area that's all protective. So super easy to walk, great dog walking place.
Okay, and across the street from there, not really across the street, but around the corner from there, is an institution.
Yeah. Yes, our neighbor's there, yes.
It looks like a castle. Tell me about it.
It is. It's a very old castle, actually. We do have a prison there. So, yes, when you drive by it at first, you don't really think that because it's a very old heritage building until you see the jail bars, of course. So, yes. So, it's a very minimal security prison. So, it's got a little stone wall that surrounds it that you could probably step over. So, we've never had any incidents or anything in the area to do with it. And it provides a lot of jobs, actually. So a lot of job and community, yeah.
So, and then the other big place around here that provides a lot of jobs is the hospital.
Yes, so which is great to be so close to the hospital. We're literally, a drop away from it. And yes, it's right there. You've got the Jubilee. So it's a very busy hospital, but it's 2 minutes away.
And do you ever access, so there are lakes around here. There's Thetis Lake, which is close by. And then there's also access to the ocean in Old View Royal. Do you ever access those areas?
Yeah, Thetis Lake is a great go-to, especially in the summertime if it gets really hot because it's shaded. So on the hot days you can go because you just have to shoot out onto the Helmeken exit and you're right there. It's the first exit. So it's very quick, and you can get a parking pass to go and park there all summer long. So you don't have to worry about the pay parking too, which is something I learned this year.
Oh, I didn't know that. How much does that cost?
You don't quote me off the top of my head. I can't remember, but it's about $3 to $4 to park if you're going to go every time. And I think the pass for the summer was about 25 or 30. So, and we go there all the time. So it's well worth it.
And that's a big place for high school students to go and hang out as well.
Yeah, because the swimming is great. There's a nice little beach there. There's a trail that goes all the way around that you can hike or walk. There's easier trails. There's harder trails. Some in the sun, some in the sun, some not in the sun. So yeah, it's really diverse for everybody.
Yeah. And so one thing to make sure of, though, if you go there is just that if you can't swim, that you do have a flotation device with you because there have been some drownings there, unfortunately. But a lot of people also they work out there for their triathlons.
Yes, and there's 5K runs there quite often. I've done a 5K run there myself with team rallies. And there's the cliffs, and that's what she's talking about is there's some cliff jumping over on the side. So you just, you got to really be careful when you're going off to the cliffs on the left side there.
So tell me about Victoria and water sports in general. What are you involved in?
I used to be very actively involved in scuba diving here on the West Coast, which was my first passion. It's incredible here. We have so much diversity to the ocean, and we're very lucky to be surrounded by it. So whether you kayak, whether you do an afternoon swim, whether you scuba dive, whether you snorkel, we're very, very lucky that we've got a really diverse marine system here in the waters and the oceans.
So my husband just recently bought Wilson Diving, and it was kind of interesting how he came about it. Do you want to hear the story?
Yes, would love to. Yes.
So he used to work in the dive industry 20 years ago, in sales and providing services, and then he worked at Pearson, and he ended up being asked by one of his former students to go on a dive, and he hadn't been on a dive in this area for a long time. So he went down to Ogden Point, and he said as he was going down, because there's so much diversity there, that's what brought this, he said he got a tear in his eye because he realized how much he missed it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's there's nothing like cold water diving. If you can get past the temperature part
with a dry suit.
With a dry suit, and being an instructor that taught here for 20 years, I highly recommend it. But we taught many students in wetsuits. You just got to layer up. When you get in there, I mean, if I could have $5 for every time one of my students, their eyes were just, at how wonderful the water is here. And the difference between here and the Caribbean is when you go to the Caribbean, you see a ton of life in huge schools. So you'll see 4 or 5 species, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Here, you'll see hundreds of species, but only 3 or 4. So it's very, very, very diverse. So you get tons of different things. So learning all the marine life, it's endless. I mean, even as an instructor for 20 years, I was still learning and still seeing new things all the time. No dive is ever the same.
Okay, so tell me, you moved here from Thunder Bay. What prompted the move?
The military. My parents were both in the military, and so we have a big military base here. And so my parents were transferred out. So we did the big move when I was 2 and my brother was 3, and we did the 8,000-mile trek, which is what it felt like in the back of a station wagon car with our parents, and moved here. And thank God, because now I see the winters that they get there, and I'm really thankful that we live here.
Do all your relatives still live in Thunder Bay?
Yes, and they all come to visit all the time. They hate how we're posting pictures of flowers, at this time of year, and they're still in minus 30. So yes, they come to visit a lot.
When I used to lead canoe trips in Ontario, it would be May when the ice would go out, the first week of May.
And for how long? A couple of months? And then you're bundling back up again, right?
Well, we'd have like 1 or 2 weeks before the black flies would hit.
Oh, yes, the infamous black flies. Yes. Yeah, we don't have any of that out here. We're so lucky to live in such a beautiful place here.
So did you just recently come back to Victoria?
Yes. So working as a dive instructor on ships for the last 10 years, we recently moved back here just about 1.5 years ago now. And it's been so great to come back. Not as warm as the Caribbean for sure, but definitely warmer than Ontario.
And what drew you to Victoria specifically?
Family. We have family here. So I have brothers, sisters, nephews, and my mom is here. And I just love it. The fact that you can ski in the winter. There's skiing. We both snowboard. So snowboarding all summer or all winter long. And then you've got the beautiful winters camping. I love camping. We are going to all the parks. We're very outdoors people. And so in Victoria, you can pretty much be year round doing something.
Right. And you can camp like just 5 minutes away at Goldstream Park.
Yeah, which is a beautiful. We did that for the first time last year, actually, being in our backyard. We thought we would give it a try. And it's a really, really beautiful campground that you can swim at too. So really close. So you don't have to do the big drive up island last year when the construction was going on with the Malahat. So we decided to stay closer to home. So yeah, Goldstream is very beautiful.
Do you ever go out to the West Coast?
Haven't in a couple of years. No, we did the West Coast Trail years ago, but haven't been in a long time.
Yeah, I just find like the whole lifestyle here is really camper friendly.
Yeah, and you can, some people are doing it year round, not myself personally, but your camping can start almost in another month or so, in the season start, and you surfing into Fino, and it's endless where you could go.
So a lot of people here do glamping as well. And there is a service that will actually deliver the glamper van to your campsite. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I'm still a diehard tenter. I always make fun of the glamming. You walk by in the campsite and you see people in their camper watching television. I'm an outdoors girl. I think I'll always be that, maybe, to one point. But, sitting around the campfire, there's nothing like it. It's so magical. being when we don't have the campfire ban. So I guess there's probably something to it when you can't sit around a fire, I guess.
Well, you can always use your propane tank, right?
Yes, and that's what we did. You can buy the big, and you sit around that all night long, and they're just as great, You can still roast marshmallows. We roasted marshmallows.
So what are your 3 favorite places to camp on the island?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many. I'd have to say top one, Green Point in Tofino, because you can surf and boogie board, which is awesome. Raft Trevor is probably my second, and Salt Spring would probably my third. Doing the islands every year, we've made a commitment to try to go to a different island every single year, and we spent quite a bit on Salt Spring last year. And they have cider tours and stuff over there. And there's the lakes to swim in, so there was a lot to do over there. So yeah, that's probably come into my top 3 now.
Actually, one of my favorite trips was we went sailing around the islands one summer. And you can stop in different islands, and you can stay on your boat, but you can go for a hike on the island.
Right. And I think every marina has a pub too. So you've got all the different great foods you can do from pub to pub too.
Yeah, super easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want more information about this area, the Knockan Hill area and View Royal, please give me a call. I'm Jade Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. But stay tuned, because we're going to be back, and Kristine's going to talk to us about her business, which is Isagenix, and her start as an entrepreneur in Victoria. Take care and talk to you soon.
Vancouver Island Time is brought to you by the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun, Victoria, where we bring local expertise and global presence to your property.
Hi, everybody. It's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun and host of Vancouver Island Time. I'm here with Kristine Carter. And Kristine, you're going to be talking to us a bit about your line with Isagenix. But first of all, you have an interesting career. So you started out as a scuba instructor, is that right?
Yeah, so I started off scuba diving, and 20 years here in Victoria, in the cold waters of Victoria, and I loved it. I loved everything about the outdoors, the underwater, the environment, and teaching people, having people being so scared, and then at the end coming up and crying and hugging you when they get certified. That satisfaction of them being able to achieve something is it's so priceless.
That's how I ended up on the West Coast, because I used to teach a marine biology course, and I dove a lot with my students, and they had never dived before, and one of them I remember just loving fish, and the fact that she could actually swim with fish for the first time, she just thought that was incredible.
People are so afraid of what's under the water, and when you really start learning about it, the fish are more afraid of you is really how it is. And when people start to understand that, it's fascinating, the hundreds and species of things that we have here. As a Marine, there must be so many things you could probably teach me that I didn't know here.
Oh, probably not. But anyway, how did you move from diving into Isagenix?
So I was on cruise ships for 10 years. I used to have a dive shop here in Victoria for many, many years. And then we ended up selling, and I wasn't allowed to open here in Victoria for several years. So I decided to take my diving internationally, and I worked for a cruise company for 10 years. Loved it. I loved it. I got paid to dive in the Caribbean and Grand Caymans, in Europe, in Australia. I mean, there's not too many places I haven't dove. So that started my transition really into diving. And then from there, what happened is 10 years in the company, I went through the ranks and ended up being in charge of the diving program across the fleet and being a fleet manager. And so the pressures became very, very high. I went from, teaching classes to doing a lot of reports and not getting to be in the water so much. And so I kind of lost that passion and for what I I was doing. And I went from no stress to a ton of stress, flying from Europe to Australia in a day, and then Australia back to the Caribbean in a day. And so I started putting on all this weight over time, and, it creeps up on us. And then I wasn't in the gym because you're tired and you're stressed. So this sort of vicious cycle starts. And so I've gone from being a very fit dive instructor to, doing reports and sitting at a computer all day. And then a friend said to me one day, "Here, drink this," and handed me a shake.
Huh, cool. Same thing sort of happened to me when I went from being a phys ed and science teacher to being a realtor, and I just it takes a lot of stress.
And when you're learning new things, when I went from dive instructor to being in charge of 1 ship to 2 ships to 10 ships, and your responsibilities get more and you're learning new things, the other things don't become so important, like eating properly and fitness and going to the gym. And it's the first thing that goes off our list. And really, it's the first thing that should stay on our list.
So in terms of somebody interested in sort of leaving their job, what's the potential income with something like this?
It can be what you want. That's the great thing about this and network marketing, and particularly with Isagenix. So you can do it. You can eat for free and just get your products paid for if you want to get healthy and start with something, just adding simple supplements back into your diet to get you going. You can do it part-time. So, I always say to people, what's the bill you hate the most? Is it a car payment bill? Is it a house mortgage bill? Is it a hydro bill? I mean, I hate my hydro bill right now. It's winter, right? So our hydro bills are quite high. So if it's $500 a month you want to create, you can do that just to get rid of that one bill. Or if you want to go like myself, who went through both of those levels and then decided to go professional and become a 6-figure income earner, you can do that. So it's how much time you want to put into it, you can do.
How long does it take to get to 6 figures?
It took me just over 2 years. So I went from teaching full-time on the ships and on the cruise ships to now being full-time at home. And that was the great thing about it, is I wanted to be back home in Victoria and not traveling the world. And it's enabled me to do that. So 2 years is pretty quick, but I was committed to doing that. Some people have done it much less than me, and some people take more.
So tell me about your products here.
So we have this is what got me started, which is the shake, which is our sort of bread and butter of the entire program. And this is good for athletes. It's good for healthy aging. It's good for performance. It's good for weight loss. It's good if you're skipping your meal and you don't have time. So this is sort of the bread and butter of the entire program, is the shake. And just simply by adding 1 shake a day into your regime, healthy. I find Victorian people here are very healthy. They're very outdoors. They eat well. They like to grow their own vegetables. So it's not a replacement. It's a supplement into their already whole food diet that they're doing.
Okay, and then you have some other stuff here. So you have 2 types of shakes I'm seeing, or 3 types.
Yeah, we have a ton of types of shakes, actually. So what's your favorite flavor? If you're into the fruits, we've got peach mango. The one I was just holding is our our caramel latte that just recently came out. We have cookies and cream. We have raspberry cheesecake. I mean, what's your flavor? We have it all. And then you can mix and match them. So you can put a scoop of raspberry cheesecake with a scoop of chocolate, so it's limitless really how many flavors you can have.
Okay, and do you add anything else to the shake other than the powder?
So you can. Our IsoLife 101 pack is what we're talking about now. Has got our 3 shakes and our ionics. I call this my happy juice. This is full of all your adaptogens and minerals, and it helps with stress. So for people who have a lot of stress in your life, which is just about everybody in some way, shape, or form, you throw a scoop of this right into your shake, and it really helps get clarity and focus. You can have it as a hot tea or throw it right into your shake for simplicity.
Is it like a high in vitamin B then?
Yes, absolutely. The list of vitamins and minerals that it comes with is over 200 actually. And that's the problem. Even when I started this program, and the reason I started this program, because I was busy on the go. I didn't have time to eat. I was flying from airport to airport. It was super easy to travel with. So anybody that has a travel job, it makes it so much easier. You're not eating the bad food in the airport and the Red Bulls and the Starbucks to keep you going. It's $3 a meal. And for, anybody who just wants something simple, you put it in a cup and you shake and you go. That's it. No complication. Done.
What's the composition of a shake?
So you have your main three things. You have your sugars, your proteins, and your carbs. So, and everyone goes, sugar, right? I don't put in sugar in my diet. That's the big thing a lot of people are trying to stay away from now, but it's the right sugar. So all of our shakes are made from organic. Everything is 100% organic. I have pregnant mamas on my team who are pregnant and they're using our products. That's how clean our products are. So you have 24 grams of carbs, you have 24 grams of protein, and then you have, depending on the shake, 8 to 11 grams of shake, but it all comes from organic stuff. There's nothing processed in it.
Is there fat in it?
Yes, there is. You have to have fat. And that's, people say, well, I'm trying to cut sugar out of my diet and fat out of my diet. Your brain needs it to function. You have to, your brain requires it. So it's a perfectly balanced meal that you can do that gives everything your body needs.
Okay. Tell me about the other shakes over there, and what's the Isagenix?
So, the Isagenix is the one that we already talked about. These are both ionic. So there's a liquid form and a powder form. So you can add both of these into your shakes. And then there's a pro version as well. So for our athletes in performance, so the guys who are wanting to bulk up, or if you're training for a marathon, we've got 10K coming up, those kind of things. If you're an avid hiker, kayaker, anything where you're in the gym or you're outdoors or you're training for anything.
Like rowing.
Like rowing. Right?
Speed skating.
Yeah, there's so many things here. You can have the higher protein. So it's 36 grams of protein. And when you're working out hard, you need that extra protein and that extra fuel.
Do you have amino acids?
We do. So we have a pre and a post workout for those of the people that are a bit more serious into the working out. We have this is our pre-workout called Nitro. Have you ever tasted those Jolly Ranchers, those watermelon Jolly Ranchers? That's what this tastes like. It's delicious. And so this is what I was having before mine. And there's a recovery, same thing that you take within 30 minutes after your workout. And it has all your branched chain amino acids in it. And it's not just for people who are working out. My husband, who was roofing up and down a ladder all day, carrying 200 barrels, very physical job. He uses the recovery in his shake every morning. And he found within 2 weeks of that, his muscles and his legs were so much better. And so the whole roofing team was taking that. So any guys out there doing heavy physical, intense labor jobs, it's for that too, right? Anything that helps your muscles.
Yeah. Plus, when you're working out, you're going to initiate little tears in your muscle. And so you need something to repair it.
And very refreshing. And the Hydrate, which is a drink that we have, you can drink this all day long, even if you're working out or not working out. It's got all your electrolytes in it. And we make it into popsicles in the summertime for the kids. And you can put a little something in there for the adult popsicles as well for the camping trips. Keeps you hydrated, not hungover.
Do you find do people keep on these after they start?
Yes. And that, people think, is this a diet? No, it's not a diet. You really, again, people in Victoria are really great about their food and their habits. I find people here really like to eat healthy. So that's half the battle right there. It's just time. Time is the really big one. And even though you do eat healthy, our soil is depleted. Our foods are sprayed. There's environmental toxicities. There's all of these things on top of it. So for me, even when I started this, I was eating spinach and tuna and couldn't figure out why I wasn't losing weight. I wasn't getting enough protein, and that's a big one for females. We don't consume enough protein, so the weight isn't going to come off, and you're missing all these minerals in our everyday food. So spinach, a bowl of spinach, you got to eat 50 now to get the iron that we did 20 years ago. And who's going to afford that? And who's going to have the time for that? So this has all of that in there for you. So it's easy.
So if somebody buys from you, they can then become the next level and they can sell to other people.
Yeah, and exactly like I did. I started off, I was in my cruise ship, I was diving, I loved my job. If you had asked me 2 years ago that this is what I'd be doing now, working from home, doing my dream job, I would have said no. So I started just eating the products, and I shared it with my mom and my girlfriends, and so I started getting paid. And I thought, well, that's cool. What grocery store pays you for eating products, right? So, and I remember getting my first paycheck from them. It was $25. And I was so excited. And it wasn't even about the money, because I had a great job, it was about that I was really helping other people get to what their goals were. And I lost 45 pounds in just over 3 months, and I was sleeping better. I felt better. And I just wanted all my friends and family to have that same thing. So when they started doing it, I started getting referral bonuses for it. And that first $25, I remember 2.5 years ago, turned into a couple $100, and then it turned into a couple $1,000. And I went, wow, this is really cool. There's really something to this.
So for maintenance, how often do you use a product?
So when you, if you're just looking to add it into your daily routine, a shake for breakfast, our IsoLife 101 pack is the best way to get started. It works out to $3 a meal. You just start with a simple shake. So don't let it overwhelm you. You don't have to upside down your whole life and try to start make all these changes. Just do one simple thing a day. Start off with a shake a day. You'll find that your energy will start to get better. You'll go from not working out to wanting to take a walk to wanting to go to the gym. It'll start to increase, and then you can add in, and we coach you. That's the other great thing. We just don't sell you the product. We're going to help you through it and how to use it. And it's not just about shakes. We have protein balls. You can put it in your pancakes. You can make French toast out of it. People think you just have to drink a shake. There's a million ways that we can show you how to add this into your diet.
Is there like a Facebook cooking group or something? Yes,
we have a support page. So when you enroll with us, we have tons of recipe ideas we share with you, smoothie bowls, hydrates, popsicles. You can make ice cream. You can make ice cream out of this. So this is something that can go in everything, and we help you teach you all of that. So you put it into your already healthy diet.
Cool. All right. So if you're interested in learning more about Isagenix, contact Kristine. How do they get in touch with you?
So you can contact me at KristineCarter.isagenix.com, and you can also reach me on 250-588-0878. I work from home, so very available to set up times with anybody and help you coach and get started.
And you're looking for anybody who's wanting to improve their consumption of food or income, or either?
Yeah, both. Either. If you're looking just to start a healthy change, and for those of you that want to make a little bit of extra income, $500 a month is a lot of great extra income for somebody that requires just a few extra hours a week. So we coach you through it. We show you how to do it, and you get the benefit of eating healthy, getting paid, and making a little bit of side money.
Cool. All right. So get in touch with Kristine if you want to make a little bit of side money. If you want to know more about the Knockan Hill area of View Royal, please contact me. I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun, and welcome to the neighborhood. Take care and talk to you soon.
Welcome to the neighborhood. We hope you have had some insight into West Coast living. If you know of someone or someplace that should be highlighted in our podcast, we'd love to hear from you. Please go to VancouverIslandTime.com and click on our Connect button. See you next week on Vancouver Island Time with Jane Johnston.